Hello, guys. Welcome back again. I hope you guys are having a great time. So, today I've got a question to all of you. The things I've told you in my previous videos, have you guys started applying it? See, your improvement depends on how sincere you are towards learning, how bad you need it, and how far can you go for it. If a guy like me can do it, it means all of you can do it too. Well, most of you know that I was born and raised in India, in a small village in southern India. So my exposure to English was pretty minimal. The school textbooks or the cable networks. That's it. There was nothing more than that. But in your case, it's different. These days, your accessibility is almost infinite. You guys can have you guys can access to anything these days. Uh, if you want to know a meaning of a certain word or an exact pronunciation or how to use it in a sentence, you're just one click away. The World Wide Web in your fingers. So it's entirely different from how I've learned. The resources I had and the resources you have right now. So if some people might think it might look like a gigantic task for them, but trust me, it's just a language. So all of you guys can achieve it. So as a start note, I wanted to tell you this today. So I hope you guys get it in the right sense. So today I'm going to explain it to you. The things I've told you in my previous videos, all the tips I've given you, I'm going to explain it in a broad way, in more detailed way. I've already given you some explanations in briefly for all of these things, but today I'm going to give you in more detailed way. So we'll start with getting in touch with staying in touch with language. That was the first thing I've told you. You can pick your option. You've got a lot of options. It's your choice. Whichever is comfortable for you, you go for it. So that's what I told you last time. So what's the benefit of staying in touch with the language? If it's a frequent process, what happens to you? It increases your vocabulary. The number of words stored in your brain, it increases. You get familiar with lots of words. Then you'll start to know how to use it in a sentence, how to construct a sentence. It becomes a simple thing for you. So your memory backs it up. So when you start practicing, it flows to your tongue. So that's what happens when you get familiar with the language on a frequent basis. You just stay in touch with it. So that's the benefit of doing the first tip I told you. If you follow that thing, it's definitely gonna give you a great result. The next thing I told you was practicing. Well, I believe I've given you a proper description. I've detailed you in a proper way in the previous video itself. How important it is to practice. Never skip it. At least 10 minutes. That's minimum you should do. The more you do, the better you get. So all these things I've already told you, but how to do it and what's the benefit of practicing? I think that benefit I've already told you, but I'm going to give you one more detail about it. See, the more you practice, the more confident you get, and the better your pronunciations. Because knowing a word just knowing a word, it won't do the trick. You just have to practice it. So maybe you know the pronunciation, but you're not practicing it, so you will not be able to pronounce it in a proper manner. So the more you practice, the better your pronunciations will be. So, and also your confidence level gets higher and higher and higher. So you being a little scared of making mistakes, it won't be there. Gradually, gradually decreases. You start to feel like a native English speaker. So that's the benefit of practicing on a frequent basis. The more you practice, the better you get. So I hope that was clear enough for you. And I've already, I think I also told you about thinking in English in the previous video. See, it's like translating your thoughts. So how to translate your thoughts? You've got resources. Use your resources. Just like I said, you're just one click away from the information. Whatever your thoughts are, our thoughts will be in our mother tongue. Translate it in English. Make it a frequent habit. What happens? What's the benefit of it? Because you start thinking in English, that's another step towards being a native English guy. Because the moment you completely thinks in English, that is something that really, that's almost like an English guy. So I want you to do these things in a daily basis. Keep doing it. The more you do it, the more eagerness you have towards learning this language, the quicker you're going to be achieving that level you want to. So keep this thing in your mind. Getting familiar with the language, practicing, and the thinking in English, another way of practicing. So these three things are very important in a process of learning of any language. It's not only English. Whatever language you are trying to learn, these three things really gives you a better result. So I hope I have given you a proper, detailed information about how to do it, what's the benefit of it, and what resources you can what do you call that? I forgot that word. See, this thing happens to all of us, even to a native English guy. Sometimes you forget the word. So yeah, I was saying you can depend on what the resource. So just don't worry about if you forget a word. I told you before. Don't worry about forgetting words. Just be confident and do your job. So I really thank you for listening to me, and I hope this thing also is very useful for you. And don't forget to comment, like, and share the video. Just let me know if you guys have started doing this and if there is any improvement, or if it's not working out for you. I will give you, maybe there is something different in your approach, so I can help you out. So let me know, and have a great day. Thank you.